Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in. If you'll remember, in some of my videos, I talk about getting inspired to build a model kit, and whether it be a TV show that I've seen, a movie, or just a set of wheels, or a picture on the internet, or in this case, this book. You find your inspiration wherever you can, really. And my imagination is a constant go. But I was looking at this book again and checking out the Beatnik Bandit. Now, I've already built this model kit. As a matter of fact, I've got a video up. If you haven't seen it yet, go take a look and let me know what you think. As a matter of fact, this is the kit. Like I said, I built this a few weeks ago. And, well, as I was going through this book, thumbing through, just kind of trying to get some inspiration to look at stuff, and looking at these old pictures where Ed Roth was actually building the Beatnik Bandit. I mean, this is in its roughest form right here. I mean, look at the mess on the floor, Look at how rough textured this body is. I mean, everything's coated in plaster of Paris dust and just plaster of Paris just everywhere. He called it spit wads, where he took the newspaper or what have you and just dunked it right into the plaster of Paris and laid it on the body, shaped it with a sanding block, and then laid the fiberglass, tore all of this out from under the bottom of it, and he had a fiberglass shell to build the Beatnik Bandit. And he did a lot of his cars that way. So anyways, before I get off that, so I'm looking at this picture, right? I get inspired, and I decided I want to bring out another kit and build it different. So here's what I come up with. I decided to build the Beatnik Bandit in its roughest form of how it looked when Ed Roth was actually building the body. Instead of the painted version like I just showed you, I decided to try and build a replica of the actual car being built in its roughest form with the plaster of Paris. I mean, look at the floor. It's a mess. The car is a mess. It's before he starts sanding and laying fiberglass. So, like I said, I got inspired and I just went at it. Now, I added a few little pieces here and there. As a matter of fact, I built this little table. But let me tell you what I've done to this body. I built the original body straight out of the box, built the chassis the same way, and I stenciled with a cotton swab. I stenciled putty all over the body to give it that rough texture, plaster of Paris look. And the chassis comes with a lot of chrome parts on it, so I de-chromed everything, put it all together, put on a stock set of steel wheels, old tires, and painted everything black on the chassis, and the engine included. As a matter of fact, the engine in the book, it shows, I'm thinking that's a Hemi, like the baby Hemi or whatever they called it. So I actually pulled this engine from the a la carte, because it's a small Hemi, I think. At least it's as close as I could find one with the things I have here. But I decided to build that engine to replicate what he had in the car while he was building it, because the actual, as you well know, the original, or the car once it's finished, it has this engine. It doesn't have this engine. But like I said, I tried to replicate the engine the best I could with what parts and pieces I could find. And I decided to kind of build a base for it so I could make a messy floor, messy shop. Now the clean pieces you see here are parts I just painted. The table I built from scratch, and just kind of weathered everything. Still got to paint my torch bottles. Matter of fact, the torch bottles, you see the hoses, I made those from styrene sprue pieces, and heated them with a lighter, stretched them out, so there's actually two hoses there, and wrapped them around the bottle like it was, put away. Laid the torch head on the floor, because that's something I always did. Once I got through using the torch, I always laid it on the floor. I didn't stick it up on the bottles to, you know, being hot. I didn't want it to melt the hoses. But anyways, tried to replicate a shop that I thought, you know, might have been there. Nothing's covered in dust yet, as you can see. I just got through putting those together. But I wanted to show you guys what I was working on, and just to show you how easy it is to get inspired by something. Now, I know most people, when they see a kit, they see the cover and they think, well, that's the way it should be. That's the way it's going to be built. And some of us, we build them totally different. This one, I decided, like I said, to make it look like the Beatnik Bandit in its creation, in its roughest form. So that's the best I could come up with on I mean, like I said, I got this idea late yesterday afternoon, more or less like last night, and I started working on it today. So to recap, yep, that's the original body, just stenciled in putty to make it look like plaster Paris. Stock wheels and tires from a parts box. The chassis is original, just de-chromed it, painted it black. And the engine, like I said, it's from the a la carte. And of course the carburetor is from something else, and bits and pieces here and there just to kind of replicate the picture here, you know, the best I could. But even the details on the floor, you know, I tried to get, well, plaster just dropped off onto the floor everywhere. I mean, there's brush, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's brush marks on the actual floor as if he has swept it previous. Footprints, you can see some of the footprints walking through where he's just tracked it all over the shop floor. But yeah, you can sort of see the brush strokes here. Well, it looks like he might have swept up and went right back to work. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys what I was working on, and maybe inspire some of you guys to do something similar, you know. I mean, build them in their worst shape possible. Now, I do have a plan for the diorama. I want to build a couple of walls on this, a back wall and a side wall to this side here. And what I'd really like to do is, on one of the walls, scan this picture, get a copy of it, and put it in the background. I thought about doing a double display where this side shows the car being built, and on the other side of the wall shows the finished product with a car show, black and white car show scene in the background. You know, that would have been in that time. Anyways, wanted to show you, let you see what I come up with, my crazy imagination. You guys like it? Hit that like button for me. Leave me a comment. I appreciate you guys tuning in and staying with me. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. It's Saturday, by the way. So hope you are all able to do something creative and enjoy your day. You guys be safe again. Catch you on the next one. Later.